Hello guys, welcome to a new vlog. Today we're actually on the job, the second job of 2020, thanks God. Here we are in Macclesfield, UK, in this hospital. This is the ophthalmology department. Basically here they take care of some eye conditions of patients. I want to share with you all the tricks and tips for this particular job and also the camera gear I'm using. I see a lot of YouTubers sharing tips, filming tips, but not on real jobs. So that's what I want to do with you today. I'm gonna start sharing filming tips on real jobs. Guys, this is Dylan, by the way. He gave me the job. What are we doing, Dylan, today? Can you explain here?
We are filming eye patients' eye diagnosis to replace them being in a station in real life because of COVID and social distancing.
By the way, if you guys are just approaching video editing or Premiere Pro, I've just launched an Adobe Premiere Pro course for beginners. We will go through the whole video editing process from start to end. So from the how to create a project to how to export your videos. And you can check it down here in the link in the description tab. So make sure you go there, check it out. It's still at the launch price of £20. The full price is £99.99. So make sure you enroll now and save £80. As any other job, of course, you want to have a brief from the clients, so when you are on location, you perfectly know what you have to do and what's happening and when. You don't want to be late with your camera in setting up your gear, or if you need a microphone and this kind of stuff. So always make sure you have a clear brief from the client and you're ready to go as soon as you are on location. Then important thing, guys, as well, if you need to edit the videos, as I have to do for this particular project, you need to know the deadline. So make sure in the brief you have the deadline written down, or you ask the producer or your client when they want and when they need the videos for. In this case, I have a couple of weeks to edit the videos, quite simple edit anyway, but I have to go through 30 or 40 videos. So once again, time-wise, you need to know how long it takes to edit this kind of videos. Very simple and plain edit, but still I probably need 7-10 days to cut all the videos down. In terms of camera gear, I start with the Blackmagic. That's my Blackmagic Cinema camera 4K. And I've got an Atmos monitor. So basically what's happening here, we have the patient sitting on this chair and the doctor sitting in front of the patient. The main filming will be on the patient and I need to focus on the eyes. That's why I've got a 70-200 lens, so I can get really close in the eyes, because of course we want to show the eye conditions of the patients. If you guys have an external monitor as well, that's gonna help. In particular, in this case, I have Dr. Gary here helping me out, so he can direct me and look through the monitor and see what I'm actually filming. So if there's a specific angle or shot he needs, he can look through the monitor and again direct me properly. If you have the alignments lines on your monitor, on your screen, in this case it's very useful. So you make sure you center the subject each time you're filming, and that's gonna save you a bit of time during the editing process. So I totally recommend to use the framing on your monitor. Another positive thing of video making is you're learning a lot of things. So for every project you are called at, you're really learning a ton of new skills, and you're just enhancing your knowledge, like general knowledge. Look at this tool. This is to take photos of the back of the eye. It costs £10,000. Amazing stuff. Also wanted to mention the lenses. Make sure you cover the whole range, because you never know what to expect from the shoot. So in my case, I've got a 16-35, a Canon f2.8, because we are shooting indoors, so it might get a bit darker and you want to have some bright lenses. So f2.8, it's bright enough for me, even though I had to push the ISO a bit higher. And then I've got the 70-200, which is the one I'm using the most. Again, f2.8, so quite bright lens. But because we need to focus on the eyes of the patient, that's why I'm using this lens the most for this particular project. Because I'm using a long lens, a 70-200, of course the depth of field is very good, but also it becomes more difficult to focus. So I'm putting the f-stop at f7, f8 to make sure the eye is on focus, but also some of the facial features of the patients. And because of that, because it's f8, the image becomes a bit darker, and I need to push the ISO to 1250 more or less. I'm also recording at 25 frames per second, no slow motion, there's no slow motion needed for this project, and the shutter speed is 1/50th, of course, just double your frame rate. In terms of audio recording, first of all, in the brief I didn't have to record any audio, but it's always good to have an external microphone, and I'm using the Rode Video Micro, which is a tiny mini jack microphone you can use on GoPro or on the Blackmagic as well. So it's always good to have something as a backup, because for example right now I've been asked to actually record the audio, and luckily I had my tiny microphone with me. So that's another tip. I've got V-mount batteries so they can last for a couple of hours, and a Manfrotto tripod, very light for this kind of job, so I can travel through the country with light gear. In terms of light conditions, we actually blinded the windows because I didn't want any natural light, because the sun of course is gonna change during the day, so we don't want any change in terms of light. We want to give the realistic feel, so again, we are in a clinic, we don't want anything too studio made. We don't have anything fancy, no studio lights, but we're gonna use the artificial lights right here, and we have a reflector because of course the light is coming from the ceiling from above, and it was creating sun shadows under the eyes of the patients. So with the reflector we can get rid of those shadows and brighten the face up. Reflector was around £20 on Amazon, so once again you don't need crazy expensive gear. Of course the camera is expensive and the lenses are expensive too, but for these kind of things actually you can find good solutions for cheap prices. The first tip, guys, is when you have a lot of people to film, like in this case we have to film 30 or 40 people on a range of time of 2 days. Before you start filming, you want to have the person with a board saying their name, and in this case also the eye condition. So whenever you need to organize your project, you remember the faces and you can match it with the names as well. We just reached the lovely hotel for the next couple of nights. We're gonna stay here, and tomorrow we're gonna start at 9. So once again, make sure you know the schedule and the brief of your shooting. Really love my job. I love filmmaking, but sometimes you have to deal with amazing locations, free food. I hate it. Check this place, it's amazing. There's a golf course right there. I'm looking for my room, and then we put down the gear, check the footage, and take a rest for today. Lovely jubbly. Morning guys, second day here of the shoot. A couple of tips straight away. First of all, you want to white balance your camera before you start shooting, and to do so we use just a white paper, like a white sheet, and like that you can actually auto balance your camera. So just facing the paper and click the auto white balance for your camera, or you can do it manually as well. Storage, don't forget the hard drives. So if you have a lot of people to film, as we have 30-40 people, you might need a lot of storage, maybe 1-2 terabytes. So don't forget your storage, and also the card readers. In this case I've got 3 different cards. I've got CFast cards, micro SD and SD. So you need an adapter, a reader that can read the old cards. Yeah, make sure you don't forget that. And when you start filming on the day, you might have everything set up already. So your laptop and all the card readers and hard drives ready to go. So in between the shots, in between the filming, you can actually download the files straight away into your machine and name them properly. Very, very important, people. So whenever you are stopping a filming session, make sure you recorded something. So make sure to double check your footage, because things can happen to your memory card or whatever mistake you can make. For example, right now I forgot to press the recording button, and these things still happen even after 15, 18 years of experience. So always make sure that you actually press the rec button, and make sure you double check the material before you let your talent go. And at that point, there's nothing you can do. So that's a big tip. When you have a lot of people involved as well, guys, don't forget release forms. So the release forms, through the release forms, the person is giving you the right to use their image in a video or in a photo. So if you're in charge of those, don't forget your release forms. But if there's a producer for the filming, then they will take care of that. But something to keep in mind anyway. So we just wrapped up another day of filming here in Macclesfield. We have another half day tomorrow, but I covered more or less everything I wanted to cover for this vlog. And I hope I gave you some insights of the filmmaking life. Anyway, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment tabs down here below. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. God bless.
Seems all good times come and go your way. Child memories fall up the road.